MediaTek has a new flagship SoC coming up soon to succeed the current generation Dimensity 9000 chip. The new chipset is expected to be called the Dimensity 9200 and leaks suggest that it may even beat the current king of smartphone chips, the Apple A16 Bionic. An early AnTuTu benchmark score has surfaced on the internet recently that shows drastic improvements in GPU performance for the Dimensity 9200. The Immortalis G715 will be the company's first ray tracing-capable GPU, and its scores on GFXBench top any current chipset, including the A16 Bionic. It is worth mentioning that cross-platform comparisons are not always accurate between different chipsets, and it is also unclear which device is running the Dimensity 9200 in these results. It appears that the device in question is running firmware that is still under heavy development. Renowned tipster Digital Chat Station has reported that benchmark results improved from 176 FPS to 228 FPS with the latest iteration of the software. The results for Dimensity 9200's new Immortalis G715 GPU look very promising. It is simply a ray tracing version of the last generation's Mali G715. However, this is not the right test for it, since these versions of GFXBench don't use ray tracing and use old versions of OpenGLS as well. Annihilating competition, the iPhone 14 Pro shows up to 190 FPS on Manhattan 3.1 and 243 FPS on Manhattan 3.0. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 topped out at 167 FPS and 187 FPS on the two tests respectively. Meanwhile, the Dimensity 9200 obliterates the competition with 228 FPS and 328 FPS respectively. The leak also reveals some hardware specifications for the Dimensity 9200. The CPU will feature a Cortex X3 Prime core, and its three clusters will be clocked at 3.05 GHz, 2.85 GHz, and 2.00 GHz, though it is possible that these frequencies will change with newer firmware versions. However, even if Dimensity 9200 manages to one-up its Cupertino-based rival, it may not help the Android realm stay ahead of iPhone, since MediaTek chips are not nearly as common as Snapdragon SoCs on smartphones. It goes without saying that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 has big shoes to fill. MediaTek has confirmed that its new flagship SoC will be announced on November 8, a few days ahead of its Qualcomm rival, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. If you like this video, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more interesting videos.